Wednesday, everybody. I'm Dr. Peter Glidden, and this is Fire Your MD Now. And we mean it when we say it. I mean it when I say it. The number to call, talk to me live during the show, Monday through Friday, 4 to 5 Central, 5 to 6 Eastern, 2 to 3 Pacific, is 866-582-9933. That's toll-free, of course. 866-582-9933. Put it on speed dial, folks. 866-582-9933. And 24/7 on the wonderful World Wide Web at fireyourmdnow.com. How about that? Easy as pie. And if you forget that, you'd have to have Alzheimer's to forget a title like that. Just do a Google search for Dr. Glidden. That's Glidden like the paint, no relation. I always pop up number 1. And that'll give you a quick link right over to my website. If you'd like help placing an order, if you'd like help figuring out what you need, if you'd like help understanding the business opportunity here with the Longevity Company, then my associates are standing by to take your call, and they are there about 12 hours of every day. And that's a toll-free number also. How about that? 855-347-3696. That's 855-347-3696. 855-347-3696. Now, because of the wonders of the World Wide Web, we are international. I had a webinar 2 nights ago. There was a person from Australia, there was a person from South Korea, there was a person from Hawaii, and there was a person from El Salvador and Trinidad on the webinar. How about that? I'd like to give a special shout out to our El Salvadorian listeners, brand new listeners to Fire Your MD Now. That would be Nick and Alazar, I think. I hope I'm getting that name correct. Alazar, listening in from El Salvador today. Thank you for your support. Thank you for your trust. And let's move it forward in El Salvador. Let's move it forward in Trinidad. Let's move it forward in Miami. Let's move it forward in every country, every county in the world, because people are suffering for no reason. Zero reason. Lack of knowledge is the reason. No good reason. It's just lack of knowledge. There's been a medical monopoly here in the industrialized nations, quite frankly, all around the world. The pharmaceutical companies have us by the you-know-what. You want to know how bad it is? In World War II, there was a coalition of pharmaceutical companies, German pharmaceutical companies. By the way, it was pharmaceutical money which practically funded the entire World War from the German perspective until, of course, they started plundering other countries. But nonetheless, there was a coalition of pharmaceutical companies in Germany, and they built a pharmaceutical manufacturing plant next to one of the concentration camps. It was either Dachau or Auschwitz. And they did that on purpose because they used inmates of the concentration camps, number 1, to work as slaves, slave labor in their factories, and number 2, to do experiments on. You know, to do medical experiments on, right? Just like that TV movie a couple of years ago. What was the name of it? With that guy in England who was going around. You know, he had the mask on and he blew up Parliament, right? And he was one of the people that they were experimenting on. Oh, that was a great movie. And I'll think about the title in a minute. But in any event, they were doing experiments on the inmates of the concentration camps in these pharmaceutical buildings, in these, you know, the big giant pharmaceutical production plants that they made. And of course, you know, after the Allies won World War II, the pharmaceutical people traded in their uniforms for business suits. That's how they paid the U.S. reparations. We just took over the pharmaceutical companies. And now, believe it or not, Bayer aspirin, the company that makes your children's aspirin, Bayer, of all the companies in the world, was one of the companies in that coalition of German pharmaceutical giants that experimented on the Jews, the Gypsies, and everybody else. And, ironically, the workers in those pharmaceutical plants were put to work manufacturing the Zyklon B gas that would later on kill them, their family members, and everybody else. And yet, one of those pharmaceutical companies now is able, legally, without retribution, to sell you and your family aspirin and anything else they can get you to put into your body. Now, I want you to consider something. If the pharmaceutical industry has that much power, if they have the ability to transform a war crime company into a household drug company name in the United States, how much other power do you think they have over your mind? How much other power do you think they have in manipulating your behavior? Well, just go and look at your bathroom medicine cabinet. Just take a look at all the prescription medicines that are lined up on your counter. There's the answer. Prescription medicines rarely, with the emphasis rarely, fix anything. There's nothing wrong with drugs. We say this all the time. Drugs are like guns. There's nothing wrong with a gun. It's how it's used. There's nothing wrong with drugs. I can prescribe drugs, for goodness sake. There's nothing wrong with a drug when it's properly prescribed. But when the MDs prescribe drugs, guess what? Leading cause of death in the United States, and nobody bats an eyelash. Yeah. And, you know, a war crime pharmaceutical company has convinced you that your kid needs children's aspirin. Isn't that just wonderful? You know, we've really gone way down the rabbit hole here in the United States. Quite frankly, all across the world. And with cancer, it's a travesty. Because the only industry that gets cancer research money is the pharmaceutical industry. The only medical profession that gets a substantial whack at the cancer problem is the MD-directed, allopathic, pharmaceutical-centrist, reductionistic medical profession. And I talk about this all the time. This is an extremely important distinction to understand. MDs are not trained in medical science. MDs are trained in one piece of the pie of medical science. And the piece of the pie that they're trained in is most excellent for surgery when it's indicated, trauma, and a handful of infectious diseases. But that's it. Their philosophy of healing is reductionistic. They believe the human body is a machine made of parts, and when you're sick, you have to take the body apart and give one medicine for each piece. They do not believe in the wisdom of the body. They do not believe in the soul. They have no conceptual awareness of anything having to do with nutrition, and they do not believe that the body has the ability to fix itself. So guess what? They haven't been able to come up with a cure for cancer, even though we've spent $1 trillion trying. Well, they've spent $1 trillion trying. You give me $1 trillion, we'll come up with a cure for cancer in 12 months. By the way, in 1997, in the Journal of the American Medical Association, 1994, by the way, I'm sorry, in the Journal of the American Medical Association, a study was published that showed that selenium supplementation reduces the occurrence of breast cancer by 82%. It reduces the occurrence of lung cancer, prostate cancer, and lung cancer, prostate, and colon cancer as well by big numbers, over 50%. Lung cancer, 39%, even if you're a smoker. Now, if the pharmaceutical at 39%, 82% for breast cancer, now, if the pharmaceutical company came up with a drug that had any impact at all in the cancer rate by 5%, it would be front page news. But when a naturally occurring substance does it, when something that's not a drug does it, oh, you know, something that's taken care of by those naturopaths, whisper, right? They're not real doctors, right? When some type of research is done to show the efficacy of a plant medicine, a botanical medicine, an acupuncture treatment, or anything other than drugs or surgery, vitamins and minerals, it's poo-pooed and looked down the nose at. And this is why we have not found a cure for cancer, because we've given the ball to the wrong people. Thinking that an MD would come up with a cure for cancer is like thinking that a Ku Klux Klansman would come up with an end for slavery. They are just the wrong person for it. They can't do it. Thinking that an MD would be able to, or even a PhD trained in the MD method, would be able to come up with a cure for cancer is like thinking a born-again Christian would be able to have an answer for you about reincarnation. It's not inside their game plan. It is not inside their point of view. It is not inside their worldview. MDs are reductionists. Cancer is a systems-oriented illness. There are no genes that cause cancer. I want you to think about that. A cancer-causing gene, I thought from Darwin's point of view, evolution was supposed to deselect the weak members of the tribe. So if the tribe members had the cancer gene, don't you think they would have died off thousands of years ago? Well, I think they would have. MDs move the goalposts all the time. Oh, first the cause of all illness is bacteria. Oh, no. And then the cause of all illness is viruses. Oh, no. And then the cause of all illness is genetics. And then, oh, no. The cause of all illness is epigenetics. They move the goalposts all the time because they have no solid foundation, no solid philosophical foundation upon which to rest their treatments. And that is why they get poor treatment outcomes, and that is why we have a healthcare crisis. This is the billion-pound gorilla sitting on the middle of the earth that nobody is talking about except me and Dr. Wallach. MD-directed, pharmaceutical centrist, allopathic, reductionistic medical philosophy and treatment for all chronic disease, including cancer, does not work. And you have to read between the lines when you're reading the headline news. 1 million people were prevented, 1 million deaths were prevented last year, 1 million cancer deaths were prevented last year from cancer treatments. Well, yeah, what that means is those patients are going to die next year. And in the meantime, the quality of their life is in the garbage can because of the treatments that the MDs gave them. So you added one more year to their life, ruined the quality of their life, changed their personalities, changed their sleep habits, increased their pain, and padded your pockets. Shame on you. Ladies and gentlemen, give me a call. We're talking about everything we can today because I am on fire. My hair is on fire. Now, I'm a stickler for accuracy, folks, and I got my dates wrong. The cancer information was in the Journal of the American Medical Association, December 1998. December 1998. Published by Larry Clark, written by Larry Clark, published by the Journal of the American Medical Association, showed that 200 micrograms of the mineral selenium, which, and by the way, 200 micrograms is an eeny-weeny teeny bit. 200 micrograms of the mineral selenium reduce the occurrence, which is hard to do, of breast cancer 82%, prostate cancer 69%, colon cancer 64%, and lung cancer 39%. So why aren't the Susan G. Komen women marching for this? 82% reduction in breast cancer? Are you kidding me? I'll tell you why. Because medicine in the United States is a for-profit monopoly. Now, do we have a cure for cancer? No. For goodness sake, I can't even treat cancer legally in the United States. You can't, unless you're an oncologist. It's illegal. Imagine that. The only people that get the cancer research dollars are the MDs. That's why we don't have a cure for cancer. Yeah, it's bad, and it gets worse, right? Because if you have a child who has cancer and you refuse conventional treatment that doesn't work, they throw you in jail and take the child away. Imagine that. Boy, I'd like to have a business like that. I'd like to have a business where it was illegal for people not to use my services. Wouldn't that be great? This is how enmeshed medicine is with politics, with law, with insurance, with economics. It is one gigantic monster with about 17 different heads. And it is eating us alive. Now, you know, I have seen, and we had a woman on this show at the beginning of the week, I think it was Monday, right, with the testimony, thyroid cancer. She had thyroid cancer. She had 2 treatments for the cancer, and it came back. They removed her thyroid completely. It came back. They removed her lymph nodes completely. It came back. They wanted to resect half of her neck. She said no more. She started our program. Was it a cancer treatment program? No. It was a get your health back, medical nutrition, clean up your diet program. And within 8 weeks, 2 months, the tumor was gone. It's not there anymore. And she lost 35 pounds, and she feels great. I've seen many different types of cancer resolve over the years, many different types. I had one woman with breast cancer in Cape Cod, Massachusetts, about 20 years ago. She came to see me, had a big lump in her breast. I did a brief health history. This was not hard to figure out. She was on the synthetic hormone Premarin, which causes breast cancer. I said, how long have you had the breast cancer? It was exactly relative to how long she'd been on the Premarin. I said, stop the Premarin, and I gave her a medical nutrition program, because remember, I don't treat cancer. 4 weeks later, the tumor's gone. She's sitting on the, she goes back to her MD. I don't know why. Back to her MD for a follow-up. Yeah, the nurse brings the doctor in the new X-ray of the breast, the mammography, and the breast tissue was clear. The doctor this was what she told me, the doctor threw the mammogram on the table and scolded the nurse for bringing him the wrong report, because he'd never seen she'd never seen a tumor resolve without conventional medicine. He'd never seen a tumor resolve before in his life, because tumors don't go away with conventional treatment. If you cut the whole breast off, you can make the tumor go away. That's hardly a cure. Plus, she had fibrocystic tissue in the breast that had also cleared up, about 50% in 4 weeks. Now, this guy's office was about, 10 minutes away from my office. It was a very small town. Everybody knows everybody. I had a big sign right out there on the main highway, Glidden Naturopathic, right? Everybody knew who I was. Everybody looked down their nose at me, except this woman. She was happier than a pig in slop that she'd known me. No more breast cancer. Do you think her doctor even called me? Said, oh my God, I've got the before mammogram, I've got the after mammogram, I did the exam myself, there was a tumor here 4 weeks ago and there's no more tumor. What did you do? I mean, wouldn't you do that? If you were a doctor, wouldn't you make that phone call? For goodness sake, wouldn't you cancel your afternoon appointments and drive 10 minutes down the road and come into my office, wait in the waiting room, and talk to me with a notepad? That's what I would do. But he didn't do it, didn't call me up, didn't want to know. And when he asked her what she was doing and he told her it was homeopathy and medical nutrition, he stormed out of the room. This is what it's come to, ladies and gentlemen. You trust that your MD knows what's best for you, and your MD does not. Your MD knows what your MD has been trained in. And what your MD has been trained in is the leading cause of death in the United States. Which is why, guess what you need to do? Fire your MD now. I'm going right to the phones today. We're going to talk to Jeff in a second, but I see there's a caller, Billy, who had a question about radiation prevention. Billy, if I get to you in a minute, there were some people in front of you. I'll talk to you live about this, but if I don't, here's what I want you to know, because this is an important subject, and we take callers, in order of how they show up, just to be polite. Dr. Wallach wrote a book called God Bless America, and you can find that book at DRJ, like Joel, Wallach, W-A-L-L-A-C-H, drjwallach.com. The book is called God Bless America. Dr. Wallach was a colonel, still is. He has never been decommissioned, a colonel in the United States Air Force. And he was trained in anti-terrorism stuff. He has a whole chapter in that book about what to do to prevent radiation, what to do when you're exposed to radiation. It's a great book. It's called God Bless America. So get it and check it out. That's drjwallach.com. All right. Enough is enough, folks. Let's go right to the phones. Jeff is calling with a question about bronchitis. Jeff, thanks for waiting. You are live with Dr. Glidden.
Hello, Dr. Glidden?
Yeah.
Hi, how are you? Thanks for taking my call.
Yeah.
Okay, I was calling about I have chronic prostatitis.
Oh, prostatitis.
Prostatitis, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
I think it has to do with the prostate.
Yes, sir, that's correct. How long have you had that?
Well, I went about 3 months ago. I started getting pain in my perineum area,
Yeah.
It felt like a swollen muscle, and I couldn't even walk.
Yeah.
Okay? Well, make a long story short, I ended up going to the emergency hospital, and basically I got referred to a urologist. I went and saw the urologist. She did a rectal exam on me, and, like in 10 minutes, she says, you have chronic prostatitis. She throws me on Cipro, ibuprofen, Vicodin, and Flomax. And this stuff doesn't work. All it does is make you faint.
How long?
It's a joke.
Yeah. Well, welcome to my world. So tell me, how long you were symptomatic before you went to the...
I mean, I came down with it, like, really hard, like, 3 months ago, okay?
Yeah.
I was actually taking a walk, and I could not take another step. I collapsed. I had to call 911, go to the hospital. I couldn't take one step.
Yeah, okay.
Like I said, I felt like I have a swollen, like, in the perineum area. It was just, like, tight.
All right, so here's what we're going to do, right? So when we're dealing with any issue, we need to do a number of things across the board every time. Number one, we need to clean your diet up so that you are not unwittingly eating foods that are hurting or causing inflammation to any part of your body. In this case, it would be the prostate. So if you go to fireyourmdnow.com and sign up for my email list, you will get an automatic email that has my good food, bad food list and a link to the video that I shot called Against the Grain, which teaches you why wheat, barley, rye, and oats are bad. So you want to go to the website, sign up for the email list, get the good food, bad food list, and stop eating the 10 foods we have designated as bad. You need to do that starting today. Okay, number one, clean your diet up. Number two, you need to support and promote the health of your body. You need to give your body the raw materials that it needs to have a fighting chance to bounce back and recover from whatever it is that you're afflicted with, in this case, prostatitis. So, how much do you weigh, Jeff? What's your current body weight?
I weigh 183 pounds, and I'll tell you, 3 years ago I did weigh 287 pounds. I've lost over 100 pounds in 3 years. So I have come down in my weight quite a bit, you know.
Okay. All right. So in order to support and promote the health of your system, we're going to give you a 200-pound dose. So what I would recommend per month is 2 anti-aging healthy start packs, 2 anti-aging healthy start packs, and 4 bottles of selenium. Selenium is to your prostate gland what calcium is to your bones. Your prostate loves and needs the mineral selenium. Most of the time when people are having trouble with the prostate, it's because they're consistently, unwittingly eating foods that are causing the prostate trouble, and they don't have enough selenium to help the prostate carry that burden. So we're going to clean your diet up. We're going to give you all the raw materials across the board, the 90 essential nutrients, plus a little extra selenium. And just to be safe, for 4 weeks, I'm also going to recommend you get 2 bottles of something called Killer Biotic. Killer Biotic. 2 bottles. Now, the Killer Biotic is a really awesome combination of herbs. It's botanical medicines which are designed to kill things, kill bugs, kill parasites, support and strengthen specifically macrophage response time and your immune system in general. So I want you to do the 2 bottles of Killer Biotic, the 4 bottles of Ultimate Selenium, and 2 anti-aging healthy start packs. That's all I want you to do. If you do that program and clean your diet up, you're going to go a long way, baby, towards supporting and promoting the health of your body and helping you to get on the other side of this prostatitis problem. Does that sound like a plan?
It sounds like a good plan. Like I said, I found you on the internet, and like I said, I was going over it when I got this prostatitis, and I mean, the only thing I could find was some company in China who said basically it's a calcium buildup. And
yeah, well, you know, you got to go. You got to take the right dog to the hunt, right?
Yeah,
I mean, you have to go to the. You got to get the right information. So I'm glad that you called. And if you want help dialing in these supplements at the wholesale price, so you know you're not tricked by a website that's selling longevity products at the full retail price, call my associates. I'll give you that number right now. It's 855-347-3696. That's toll-free 855-347-3696. They'll dial it right in for you and tell you how help you to place an order and get this stuff at the wholesale price, and that is good. Jeff, thank you so much for the call. I appreciate your trust and your time. Jennifer's up next. Jennifer with dry eyes and chronic pain in the back.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can, Jennifer. You're live with Dr. Glidden. Thanks for calling.
Thank you. So I've been experiencing chronic dry eyes and wondering, and I'm already on the basic 90 nutrients plus selenium and liquid plant minerals.
All right.
Wondering if anything else. Go ahead.
Yeah, I know what to tell you. Have you gone gluten-free yet?
Totally, for years.
Okay, and you've stopped the other 6 bad foods, right?
Over the last 3 months, for 4 months, yes.
Okay, great. So how long have you had dry eyes?
So it's been kind of an intermittent kind of a thing. It was really bad in the winter when the heat was on and all that. Then it went away, and suddenly within the last 3 weeks, it's gotten really bad again, and kind of caused me to have headaches and and I've been having a ton of tension actually in my neck and shoulders, kind of at the same time.
Well, are you experiencing a lot of extracurricular life stress, or are things pretty good?
Things have been pretty good, better since I've been on the longevity product, significantly.
Yeah, okay.
So no, I can't attribute it to any particular life stress, except that I've had a chronic neck, shoulder, upper back tension and pain for years. I mean, really a long time, and I'm kind of coming out of that and starting to add in some exercises that may have been stressful.
Yeah.
But I don't even know if the dry eyes and the neck and shoulder stuff is related. It's just that I had a really chronic headache kind of from both of it.
Yeah. Well, all right. Are you allergic at all?
Homeopathic level. So.
Yeah. No, I get it. All right. I'm a big fan of homeopathy. Are you allergic to anything that you're aware of?
Dairy and gluten.
How about cats or dogs or pollen?
Not that I am aware of, but perhaps I may be that I don't know of, and I'm not really having any sinus issues or anything except for the eyes, but it's, they burn and they feel really dry. I mean, to the point where I'm thinking about getting these plugs that they stick in the little corners, silicone plugs to increase your tear duct.
Yeah, that's kind of an ass backwards approach, if I can even say that on the radio. All right, so. Well, this begs the question, how much water do you drink?
Well, honestly, since I've been drinking so much BTT and everything, it's been hard for me to get in enough water.
Well, the water that you drink with the BTT counts towards your overall daily dose. So, including the BTT, how much are you getting down the hatch every day?
Does it include if I have an herbal tea, like with herbal tea as well?
Yes, it includes everything that's not caffeinated.
Probably 8 glasses.
Oh, geez. And what's your body weight?
123 or so.
Yeah, that's perfectly plenty. All right, so what I would do here is I would, for 4 weeks in a row, I would triple the amount of calcium that you're taking every day. Okay. So if you're taking 1 ounce, take 3. If you're taking 2 ounces, take 6. All right? Now, because any chronic muscle tension anywhere in the body is related 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, and 10th to a problem with calcium and magnesium metabolism. And that's a really tricky thing to dial in because, depending on how much you're sweating that day, depending on the time of the day that you swallowed the supplement, depending on other stuff that you may have been consuming that's sucking calcium and magnesium out of your body, there's this ebb and flow of the nutrients, especially the calcium and magnesium in your system. So we want to flood the system with calcium and magnesium for 3 to 4 weeks in order to try to give you relief from this stuff that's happening in your neck and your upper shoulders. Now, it's a stretch, but if you've got tension in your neck and shoulders, it's possible that you also have tension in the facial muscles, and that it's the tension in the facial muscles that is prohibiting the proper circulatory flow to the eyeball, right? That's possible. It's kind of a stretch. Now, the other thing that I'm going to recommend that you do is take more selenium, because selenium, again, just like, and it sounds like I'm speaking with hyperbole here, but I'm not. This was just a coincidence that I should have these 2 calls back to back, but there are 3 actually organ systems in the body that love selenium. One is your prostate, one is your liver, and the other is your eyes. So anybody that's having any consistent problem with their eyes, and I don't care what it is. I don't care if it's macular degeneration or glaucoma or cataract formation or anything, retinitis pigmentosa or dry eyes. I'm going to recommend you increase your selenium supplementation. I take 12 selenium a day as prevention forward breakfast, forward lunch, and forward dinner. So I would try that. I would up the ante with the selenium and up the ante with the calcium, the liquid calcium, for 4 weeks and see what happens to this problem. And then we're going to have to whittle away at it. If that strategy does nothing to the dry eyes, then the next thing that I would do, I would fall back to the normal dose of the calcium. And I would take as much selenium as you can afford. Again, I do 12 a day. I'm 180 pounds. So does Dr. Wallach, by the way, 12 a day. And he's been doing that for, 30 years plus. The next thing that I would add in an increased fashion would be the essential fatty acids. That would be my strategy in order to handle the dry eye problem. Give it a try and call me back with a report, please, because I keep notes on stuff like this, and when I dial in something that's going to help you, I make note of it, and then, a couple months from now, somebody else calls with the same problem, and bada bing, bada boom, we've got it covered. That's what teamwork is all about. Thank you so much for calling. Give that a try, please, Jennifer, and give us a shout back. You are live with Dr. Glidden. Thanks for the call.
Hi, Dr. Glidden. A friend of mine has a cyst on the back of her knee, and the doctor, her MD, wants to go in and scrape that.
Yeah, is it called a Baker's cyst? Did he call it a Baker's cyst?
I think that's what she did call it, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Anyway, she says it's about the size of a baseball.
Oh, geez, that's pretty big. Yeah, okay. So, well, that might not be a bad treatment option for this particular condition. However, right, you can't ever unsurgery something, right? And a Baker's cyst is not a life-threatening problem. It's not cancerous. It's not a tumor. It's, it's an overgrowth of tissue. Nobody really knows the root cause of Baker's cyst. There are a lot of ideas about what makes this happen in the first place. But in this case and in most other cases, the only time that I recommend surgery is, if there's been trauma and there's a broken bone or there's a bleeding artery or there's a bullet in your arm or something like that, then you need surgical intervention immediately, but you don't for this. So we're going to keep the surgical option in the wings, and for 90 days, she needs to clean up her diet, 100%. Nobody gets away from cleaning up their diet, and everybody has to do this, because the rationale here is really quite clear. The reason that the body breaks down most of the time from the holistic experiential point of view is because the person is unwittingly eating the wrong stuff every day. The wrong stuff every day. And the person's body has run out of the raw materials that it needs to fix itself. So guess what? It's only a matter of time until something breaks. And everybody's body is going to break at a different point because, everybody's different. This person might get asthma. This person might get a Baker's cyst. This person might get chronic bronchitis. This person might get prostatitis, right? This person might get cancer, heaven forbid. So regardless of what the condition is, regardless of what the MDs are calling it, and regardless of what the MDs recommend you do for it, if it's not an acute, life-threatening emergency surgery situation, all we do for everything is support and promote the health of the human body by cleaning the diet up and giving the essential nutrients that the body needs. So in this case, it would be one Healthy Start Pack per 100 pounds of body weight per month. And we want to give extra skin nutrition because the Baker's cyst is happening in the skin, in and around the skin. And, this is an interesting thing to talk about, actually, because the 7 layers of the skin, your tendons and your ligaments and your muscles are all the same tissue, just different densities of that same tissue. So we're going to feed that part of the body with extracurricular nutrients, and in this case, it would be glucogel. So she's going to get one Healthy Start Pack per 100 pounds of body weight per month and one capsule of glucogel per 10 pounds of body weight per day. So if she's 150 pounds, she needs 15 glucogel a day. If she's 210 pounds, she needs 21 glucogel a day. That would be 7 with breakfast, 7 with lunch, 7 with dinner, whatever. Longevity makes glucogel in a 120-count bottle and a 240-count bottle. So figure out what her weight is, figure out what her monthly capsule limit of glucogel will be, and get her to purchase that many bottles a month. And the last thing to do here is have her do alternating applications of heat and cold to the Baker's cyst while she's watching TV. So you get two mixing bowls from the kitchen. Put hot water from the tap in one and cold water with ice in the other. Put a face cloth in each bowl. Wring out the hot towel, put it on the Baker's cyst for about a minute. Put the hot towel back in the water, wring out the cold towel, put it on the Baker's cyst for about a minute. Alternate hot, cold, hot, cold, hot, cold. You're going to need to refresh the hot bucket. Start with the hot, end with the cold. That will increase the circulation to that part of the body, and when she cleans up her diet and takes the nutrients, she dramatically increases the chances of her body fixing this problem. Your body wants to fix itself, folks. Give it a chance. I'm Dr. Peter Glidden. See you tomorrow.